Torrone is a classic sweet treat in an Italian Christmas. You may also know it as nougat. Some of the store-bought varieties are a little too chewy, don't have the right nut combination that I prefer, and so I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch at home. Let's get started. We'll start by lining a 9 by 13 inch pan with parchment paper. Make sure it comes up the side so that we can easily pull out our torrone when it's finished. This is edible wafer paper. You want to put this in your pan shiny side up. Wafer paper is much easier to find than it used to be, but if you're still struggling to find it, you can liberally dust your parchment-lined pan with some powdered sugar. It won't give quite the same texture on the outside, but it'll still be torrone. We want to toast our nuts just slightly before they get added into our mix. I'm using half almonds, half pistachio, and you need 425 grams total, about 1 3/4 cups. You can use any nut you like. These are going to bake at 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. And just let those cool. You want to make sure your vanilla beans are a bit squishy and bendy before you cut into it, so loosen up all those little beans inside there. I'm going to slice it down the middle and scrape out the beans. Add your vanilla beans to a small saucepan. To the vanilla beans, add 140 grams, just under half a cup of honey. And we're just going to heat this on a medium heat until all of the vanilla beans have permeated the honey and it's really loose and runny. To another small saucepan, add in 255 grams, 1 1/3 cups of sugar. Add in 150 milliliters, 2/3 a cup of water around the edge of the sugar. By putting it around the edge, it helps stop it crystallizing. Your sugar and water mix has to come to 286 degrees Fahrenheit or 141 degrees Celsius. This is really important, so make sure you're using a thermometer. A candy thermometer is the most accurate way to check your temperatures. And for your honey and vanilla mix, you're looking for a temperature of 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 121 degrees Celsius. When your syrups are nearly at temperature, add 2 egg whites to your mixing bowl and start whipping them up. Start by slowly pouring in your honey syrup. Once all of the honey syrup has been add in your sugar and water mixture. I like to try and let the syrup touch the side of the bowl so it starts to cool before it hits the egg white. You want to crank up the speed of your mixer so that this really whips up. Once the egg whites have tripled in size, turn off the mixer. It should have this really soft, marshmallowy fluff consistency. If you get any lumps because it's hardened too quickly, just pull them out before you add in your nuts. Now stir in your toasted almonds and pistachios. And before it starts to stiffen up too much, you want to pour it into your pan. Then with a spatula, very carefully spread out the mixture so that it's coated all of the rice paper. You want to try to make this as even as possible. Place another piece of wafer paper, shiny side down, on top of your mixture. Just give it a little press down so that everything is touching. This needs to be in the refrigerator for at least 10 hours so that it sets up. Once your torrone has been refrigerated, pull it out of the tin and peel back the parchment paper. To make it extra clean looking, I like to cut off the edges. I've dipped my knife in some hot water and just wiped it off with a paper towel. This will give you the cleanest cut. You'll want to use the sharpest knife you have to get through those nuts. If your knife feels sticky after cutting, just dip it back into the hot water and wipe it off. And then slice your pieces however big or small you'd like. I like mine to be a nice 2-bite torrone. You'll find your torrone might be a little softer than the store-bought variety. That's because we haven't added loads of preservatives to make it last for weeks and weeks. I find it's best stored in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. If you're looking for another classic Italian Christmas treat or a perfect gift to bring to a friend, you have to try my chocolate chip panettone. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and I'll see you next week for another recipe.